Hi friends, today we're going to talk with my granny in a very special episode because today is my granny's 93rd birthday. Stick around. Hi friends, this is Bethany Jennings and you're listening to We Should Talk. It's a podcast where we talk about anything and everything to encourage, equip, and empower you to be a decent human. Let's talk. Hello and welcome back. As I said before, we will be talking with my granny, which is my mother's mom, today in just a conversation that I hit the record button on. She is 93 today, so this is how it worked out. My granny was born January 22nd of 1931. Then she had some daughters. There was some life. And then she had some daughters. And actually two of her daughters, my mom and my Aunt Peg, were born on years apart, but both born on January 21st. What are the odds? And then, you want to hear something really crazy? My granny has 5 daughters, right? Aunt Shay, Aunt Peg, Aunt Lana, my mom, Aunt Jenny. Well, Aunt Shay, who is in her 70s, has 2 daughters, and one of those daughters has 2 kids, but one of her kids, her oldest one, is named Grant. He is such a precious human. But he actually married a woman from Ireland, and they are over on that continent right now. And he and his wife just gave birth to a son last night. And he was born, well, it was our last night, but it was already there tomorrow, if that makes any sense. And he was born on my granny's birthday. So my granny had a great-grandson who had a great-great-grandson, her first great-great-grandchild, and it was on her birthday. How cool is that? Anyways, it's a whole big, long, awesome story, but that's their story and not mine, so I'll let them tell it. Anyways, so yeah, we're talking with my granny today. As I said, she is 93. So those of you who heard the former episodes, Quality Conversation with Granny and Aunt Shay, you know how this can go. Granny is, her voice is not very strong these days, so her volume is going to be a little bit lower. Unfortunately, my volume is much louder, almost to the level of being obnoxious, unfortunately. But I'm talking very loud so she can hear me. And even then, it doesn't work sometimes because, I'll ask her something or I'll say something and she's still in her train of thought. So we just let her take the lead. She is a wonderful, powerful woman of faith. She came into the church with my papa. And you can go listen to Quality Conversation with Granny and Aunt Shay from last season if you want her full testimony. But they have pastored churches and they have worked in the kingdom. And she raised 5 daughters to love truth. And there's so many people in our family that are in ministry that I can't even count. And all of that because of the prayers of my ancestors and because of the faithfulness of my granny and my papa. So, in this conversation, we get into some stuff. we talk about about her childhood, about some abandonment that she experienced. We talk about house fires. She endured multiple house fires for some reason. I don't know what the deal was. We talk about 15-year-olds getting married. She was actually 15 years old when she got married, and it was a different time. I do not suggest that method of marriage. She gets into just loving people, and she gets into dreams and how the Lord speaks to her, if it does happen in dreams, or how we should listen to our dreams if the Lord's using them. And so we get into some of that stuff, and we even get into discipline of children and loving children through discipline. It was a really good conversation. My Aunt Shay's not in this one. She actually was out for a drive. I said, why don't you go get some donuts, run some errands? I'll just sit here and talk with Granny. So we are going to talk to Granny. Now, this conversation did not happen yesterday. This conversation actually happened last October when I was with them in her home in Kentucky. This is a precious episode. I feel like it's a precious conversation, and I know that I will cherish it for years and years to come. I'm so happy that I was able to capture her voice, feeble though it may be these days. So pull up a chair, grab some coffee, and join the conversation with me and my granny.
I'd be upset with her.
And her just a baby, not knowing.
Made a kid, I wanted my own way. Yeah.
Well, you was just a
Crazy.
kid too.
Crazy.
How old were you when she was born?
I was 16 when I had her.
You were married at 15?
Mm-hmm.
Such a different time. I look at 15-year-olds now. Ain't no way. 15-year-olds these days need to be getting married.
What was it? Yeah, you don't know your right hand from your left, hardly.
I think back then you had to grow up so fast, depending on your life circumstance.
Yeah. And my life was a mess. My mom and dad separated. We didn't have a home. Mom has 5 kids.
So it was
no place to go, and Dad didn't care. We lived in down half a block from Calvary Tabernacle, in a 1-room she had 3 rooms rented. And we was out of place we didn't have a home, no place to go. And she let us live in the front room.
So all 5 of you?
She only had a half a bathroom.
So there's no shower in there?
Mm-mm.
I take outdoor baths?
There was a washstand and a toilet.
So all 5 of you kids and your mom lived in one room?
Yeah.
You think that's why she remarried? For safety or like security?
It was an old house, so the rooms were big. But Grandma and Grandpa had the kitchen, and there was a kitchen and a middle room, and then this big front room. And Grandma and Grandpa actually lived in this middle room. And it was in that middle room the half bath was. And my dad couldn't care less. And the Morse side of the family, Mom's side of the family, they didn't want us. No woman with 5 kids. They was a little more highfalutin and had more. Where Grandma and Grandpa never worked, and they lived on what Grandma could clean houses and make.
So why didn't Grandpa ever work?
It was just, and I was in the first grade of high school. We lived there, a freshman. And I hardly knew my right hand from my left, because I was so mixed up.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And all we had was our clothes. We didn't have no furniture much. What we did have, we put in that one room and lived on it. We lived, eat, and slept in that one big room. And Grandpa, that's when Dad then started coming to our house, and he'd bring his guitar and he'd play and sing, and Grandpa got mad. He was an old drunk, and he got mad, said that he was coming there to see us girls. Made him mad.
Well, he was coming to see you girls.
So he threw a fit, and we had to leave Grandma. And we scattered.
So your grandpa threw a fit because Papa Harris
He was coming
to see you guys and play guitar and hang out.
Yeah.
And then basically y'all got kicked out because of that.
Yeah. Because he said that he was just coming to hang around us girls. Well, so Dad found a room, a place for us to go, and it was it had been a garage. And it had one little window and a door. And we moved into that. When I think of what my mother went through, keeping us 5 kids together, and what she went through.
Clothed and fed.
It grieves me when it really hits me, and I realize a mother's love and a mother's concern. That's not what she wanted for us. That's not what she wanted. She wanted a home and everything, just like everybody else. Dad didn't supply it.
So when you got married,
we lived in that one.
You were
room.
living in that one garage, old garage.
And don't you know it burned down?
Did it? What is it with you and houses burning?
And everything that was in it. We lost everything.
So that burnt?
I woke up that morning. We had a bed. And one corner of it was kitchen. And one corner was a bedroom, which was just a bed and a dresser for us to put our clothes. And I was sleeping on the couch on an outside wall. And when I woke up, I was just laying there. I hadn't got up. Mom was up, and Frida and Rhonda he probably wasn't even there.
And Teddy wasn't born yet, was he?
I seen fire in the corner of the chimney in the house. I said, Mom, the house is on fire. I see flames. We was eating with the stove. And she come and looked, sure enough, it was on fire. I grabbed my blanket up around me and run outside. She said, get some clothes on. You have to have something on. We just in our bedclothes.
Mm-hmm. So
it took time to get my clothes on and get out. Stood out and watched it burn to the ground. There wasn't nothing but burning ashes.
Is that the house fire where you lost your Shirley Temple doll, or was it another house fire?
That was the fire.
That was the one. So how... You were like 6 or so when your dad got the Shirley Temple doll?
Hmm?
How old were you when your dad got that Shirley Temple doll for you?
Got the church.
Shirley Temple doll.
Oh, I was 5 years old.
So this is like roughly 10 years after that. He went through some of his life stuff and he was out of the picture at this point.
And I had my doll with me, and Frida didn't have hers. It was in storage. But I had mine with me, and I lost it. And it was exactly like that doll.
And you got another one.
Same size, everything.
And then, so you had that house fire when you were like 14, 15. And then after you were married and you had the girls, you had another house fire, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, our home. We bought a new home. And we lived in it from the end of summer. I'm trying to think of the time frame we was in it.
Mom said you had just gotten everything how you wanted it. Like you had gotten new carpet and appliances. Like everything was how you wanted it in that house.
Yeah, the house was brand new. Me and Peg used to go. The other kids was in school. We drive out to it and go in and sit down on the floor on the carpet. Just sit there and talk. Decided where we was going to put this and this. And it was a 3-bedroom home. Beautiful. Lost it in a fire.
Mm. You've lived a lot of life.
A lot of heartache. Not understanding. We was in the church at the time, the house that we had the whole house. And just didn't understand. And still don't today. Why? Why did it happen?
What happened to you guys right after that? Like, did you go to another church? Like, did you start pastoring another church? Were you already pastoring?
We tried other churches because he had already pastored there in Scottsburg.
Right.
And he had resigned the church and was doing some evangelizing, preaching. He knew these brothers. Brother Monk was one of them in Ohio. And we lived in a travel trailer.
You think maybe the Lord didn't want you getting too comfortable in that new fancy house?
Yeah, we got real comfortable.
I know.
And
Sometimes...
we had that trailer at the end of the house, plugged in. And we lived in it then after the fire. Oh, days of yore. That was my youth. We already had Jenny even. We bought the house. I thought I would have never, my wildest dreams that I'd ever have a new home. And then it burned.
The Lord has a way of helping us move on from things when it's time for that stage of life to end, I guess.
I just have to roll with the punches.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I'm still learning. to listen when it's time
Yeah.
to mix it up, to change something. Because
Yeah.
I don't really love change that much. I get a routine and I like it and I feel secure in it. But then
Yeah.
I start putting my hope in whatever's making me feel secure.
Yeah.
Like, remember I worked at the mental health facility before I had my car accident?
Yeah.
And I knew, like, I felt the nudging. Like, it was time to I needed to resign my position there. I mean, I was in line to be CFO. But I felt like, you're not happy. You need to be doing something else. You're not fulfilled. Something else needs to be happening. And I kept feeling that, but I wouldn't listen to it.
Yeah.
Because it was security. And then
Yeah.
I got in that car accident.
Yeah.
And ended up losing it anyways. And they wanted me to come back. They wanted to hire me back.
Yeah.
But I told them, I said, y'all, I don't think I'm supposed to be here anymore.
Yeah.
If I was supposed to be here, I wouldn't have gone through everything I've gone through.
Feel like you was, yeah.
And that's when I started, after that is when I started working at the school and the behavior unit and all that. But I was comfortable. I was comfortable.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Lord said, I have been telling you. And he had to push me out of the nest.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to put my hope in him.
Yes.
It's a
You learn that.
daily
You
lesson, I
learn
think.
that. And you have to learn that one way or another.
Well, I'm learning to listen so I don't have to live it.
Yeah.
When it was
And
time to
things
resign
don't
from the...
always turn out the way you want.
No,
But
no.
what he wants. And when you're willing to do that,
I think it's a
Your
matter
life.
of knowing his voice, though. Like, knowing it's him and not just you being tired of something.
yeah.
You know? Because there's something to be said for consistency, even when you're not comfortable.
Right.
But knowing it's him leading you to the next phase, to the next.
Yeah.
I'm learning to listen.
Well, life's not always easy.
No.
And there are a lot of hurtful things that can happen in your life that shapes your life. And he'll teach you to depend on him regardless.
Yep. I wish the lessons were easier, but I guess the only way to know you have faith is for it to be tried.
Well, neither one of my parents was serving the war. To my knowledge, my dad never did attempt to serve God. And he knew the doctrine, he knew it all. And to my knowledge, he never did make it right with my mother the way he treated her.
Mm.
Mom did. After all, us girls got grown and married, raising our children in the truth in the church, and Mom took a turn toward the church. She had been in the church prior to us, prior to me, and it had the Holy Ghost. And she prayed back through. And I know as sure as I know anything, that my mother made it. My dad, as far as I know, is questionable. But God gave me a dream about Mom
Yeah.
after I was married, And Mom was in health, good health. She had a rheumatic heart. And there were times that she had trouble with it. But the Lord let me have a dream. And all I could really remember of it, and this was after us married, a few years after I was married, and several before she died. And we were standing at my back door on our home on Moore Street in Indianapolis. Me and her was standing in that doorway, and I had my arm around her, and things began to happen in the sky with the clouds, and it was I don't know what you call these things. You look in and things go to rolling and
Like a kaleidoscope?
and turning different colors.
Yeah, I think like a kaleidoscope.
Pretty colors. And that's just the way it was. That's what I seen when I looked up in the sky. That's what the sky was doing. All them beautiful colors, and it was just rolling from one, to another. And I said, "Oh, Mom, look, the rapture." And she was caught away out of my arms. I seen her, and I'd had my arm around her, and she just left. And that's a hope I have of my mom. And she did serve the Lord in younger years. And tried to do what she could do with a man that couldn't have cared less at that time.
Do you still have dreams, like a lot of dreams when you sleep at night? Do you still have a lot of dreams?
No, I don't.
You don't? I think I'm always dreaming something.
But you hardly remember your dreams.
That's
But
true.
that one, I've never forgot it. And how I felt when she was caught away out of my arms.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, Mom, look, the rapture." And when I said the rapture, she just started going. And I've always felt like God gave me that to comfort me, for one thing.
Yeah.
And it was just so real.
Did God speak to you in dreams a lot when you were younger? Did God use dreams to speak to you a lot when you were younger?
No, not really. Never has. I can't remember one that, even some of them that I had, I don't remember them. But that one was so
That one stuck with you.
real and so.
Have you dreamt of Papa since he passed?
Actually, in my mind, it happened. In my mind, it happened. Did I what?
Have you ever dreamt of Papa since he passed away?
I have, but it's been kind of vague.
Yeah.
Nothing big or.
Just knew that
And
he
not
was in it.
often. Not often.
I think I've only had
I don't
two.
hardly have dreams. I don't
No.
want to be a dreamer.
Well, you must be sleeping deeper than I am.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always dreaming something. I don't always remember my dreams, but it's like my brain's always working on
I think
something.
we all do. Our brain, I don't think it ever goes to sleep.
That's why we're all so tired.
Our awareness goes, we're not aware when we're dreaming. So it's just a free thinker, you know, and I think that God works a lot in those kind of dreams. He's got you still,
Mm-hmm.
to where you're not thinking your own thoughts, you know.
Yeah.
Your mind is at rest and clear, and
Your brain's out of the way.
I think God deals. I don't think every dream is of God, but
No.
you know, when they're dynamic, you better sit up and listen. Take notice.
Usually when it sticks with me, and I just like, when it's super, super vivid, and I can't get away from it all day, and I can't.
Yeah.
Usually that's how I know. Like, even if this isn't a God dream, it's something spiritual, or it's something. I mean, if it's a dream, maybe that's the wrong term. Maybe it is a God-given dream as like a warning for something coming,
Right.
or sometimes it's a hope of what's to come, not a warning.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But yes, I've had a few of them, and I think not so much with Silas. With Silas, I did have a few, but with Onyx, I had really vivid dreams that I knew were God dreams. Yes, and I don't know if it's like your hormone levels are different when you're pregnant, and so you know your chemicals are all weird, you know. So maybe you dream more vivid. Maybe I was a little more open to hear what he needed to say when I was pregnant, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true.
But I did have very vivid dreams with Onyx, and some of them are just crazy dreams, you know.
Yeah.
But there were a couple that I knew, oh, this is a God dream.
Yeah. When they have an impact on you, you know, it was sent from God.
Yep. He finds ways to talk to us. It's
And
not always an audible voice.
And you carry that with you after you're awake, and you carry that feeling that you had.
Yeah, it's like that.
while
What
you're
you felt in the dream sticks
it's
with you.
personal. Yeah.
Yes. That sometimes if it's a really rough dream, it's like that chest tightening, anxious feeling.
Yeah.
Just sticks with me, and like my I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like my heart hurts all day long.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I had a dream. I was pregnant. I was pregnant with Silas, and we had just started putting Onyx in his room because we lived in the 1-bed, 1-bath house with him for his whole first year,
Yeah.
and so he didn't have a bedroom of his own.
Yeah.
So once we moved into our new place, we started working with him to go sleep in your room, and he was doing so good. We had a good routine. He was sleeping in his bed on the other end of the house instead of his little, play yard in our room. Well, I had a dream a couple of months before Silas was born. I had a dream that there was a kid that I had worked with in the behavior unit. And I had worked with him the whole time I had worked at the schools. So I think I started working with him. He was either kindergarten or first grade. And by the time I left, he was fourth or fifth grade. So I'd worked with this kid a really long time. But he wasn't a kid whose behaviors could be easily retrained.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe he was psychopath level.
Really.
He was a very, very troubled kid. Very troubled. And not all his fault. He was from a very rough home.
Yeah.
There was a lot of abuse, a lot of medical abuse, where he would have meds that he needed and his parents wouldn't give it to him, or either they would take it themselves or they would sell it, and so he was off and on meds the whole time. But I think, he showed up with some issues.
Yeah.
Possibly from the pregnancy, that kind of stuff. Anyways, he responded well to me, specifically in the school system. We had a pretty good relationship.
Yeah.
And sometimes I had to be tough Mrs. J and put him in line, but sometimes I was tender Mrs. J. And he knew he could come to me and talk to me, and we'd cool down together. So anyways, I worked with this kid a lot. Well, in this dream, someone came running up to me, and they were like, he's here. And they said his name. I won't say his name, but they said his name. And they said, he's here. And I was like, okay, go get Nathaniel. Because it was like it was a church thing or something. I don't know. So, well, then go get Nathaniel. Let him handle this. I mean, this is what... And they're like, no. He's here for Onyx. And I looked up, and it wasn't the church. It was my house.
Oh, my.
And our bedrooms are like opposite ends of the house, so there's like a long hallway getting to Onyx's room. And I looked up, and that boy was between me and Onyx in the hallway. And then the dream just kind of glitched, and then he was closer to me. Mm-hmm. The little boy was real close to me, and he wasn't doing anything. He was just standing there looking at me. And about that time, when he got closer to me, I woke up gasping. And when I woke up from that dream, Onyx woke up screaming in his room.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. It shook me. And I couldn't, I was trying to get out of bed with this big old pregnant belly, and I couldn't get my words together to tell David what was wrong. Because, David knows when I'm dreaming, when I don't know I'm dreaming. Like, he'll the next day be like, did you dream last night? I was like, yeah, I can't remember all of it. He goes, yeah, I could tell. I was like, how? He goes, well, your breathing was different. Do you ever sleep? So anyways, I was trying to get my words together. I was like, I gotta get Onyx. Somebody's here. And he's like, what? So I run and get Onyx out of his room. He's screaming. I hold him. Say, I got you. I bring him into my room. And he has slept in our room since that dream. Mm. Yeah. And I'll put him, like nap time, I'll put him in his room. But we were so close to getting him completely trained, and then I had that dream, and I messed it up, and I brought him back in our room.
Yeah.
So, I always pray over our house and all the things, but I do think it was a warning that that chaos that little boy experiences in his struggle times, that chaos was like trying to bother our family and bother Onyx and bother. Right. And since then, we had a little spell there where Onyx was having so many meltdowns. And we'd go to walk into the church, and he'd get really anxious, and we'd try to... it was just random. Like, he was not this kid. Like, him being upset about walking into church was not him. He loves going into church and jumping around and playing his tambourine. But it was always right at church and getting ready for church, or when it was time to walk into the sanctuary. And we had the church pray over him. Problem. Yes. We had the church pray over him. Christy actually... She came because she was helping me through some of the meltdowns, because I'd be playing the keys. This was after he was born at this point. I'd be playing the keys or leading worship, and then I'd tell David, come play, I got to go, Onyx is melting. And so I'd go to the back, and he'd just be losing it. He could not get himself together. And so we'd have to do a reset. And we're like, okay, let's look out the window. Let's get some sunshine in the office. We're looking for birds. We're counting cards. Something, Yeah. If it was at night, we're going to step outside and take a deep breath, look for the moon. We're trying to give him ways to reset, So finally Christy said, I don't think this is just a physical thing. I don't think this is just him being almost 2. She said, every firstborn of this family has gone through it. Bentley went through it. Lincoln went through it. And now Onyx has gone through it. She goes, every firstborn of this family has gone through this. And she goes, it has really picked up since you and David and I, Pastor Ben spoke a word over us about our ministry, some specifics and some transitions in our ministry. Yeah. She goes, since then, it has picked up. And she says, I'm telling you, if she was very respectful about it. She's like, if it's okay with you, I want the church to pray over him and you guys. Yeah. I said, okay. And they did. The church prayed over us. And it's gotten much better. And he's still 2, almost. But it's gotten better. Yeah. But I feel like that was a warning about the chaos that was coming. Yeah. So that I could pray ahead.
Right. And God will make a way. But
He does attack. He'll come for your kids, especially when you're in ministry. He'll come for your kids.
Oh, yes. Goodness, yes. And not all parents are sensitive to their children.
No.
And the problems they have.
Yeah. I try to be aware, but also be sympathetic.
Everything needs a whipping, you know.
I do know. And a lot of times, especially in the South, that's the first response.
Yeah.
If you're going to yell out, whoop them.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, pop them. I'm like, they don't even know why you're hitting them. Stop.
Yeah.
There's one family in our church, literally the child was not even, I think maybe the kid was 9 months old. They were already popping their hand. They don't know why you're hitting them.
No.
Just move. They didn't want the kid touching something. Just move whatever it is.
Sad.
Or move the kid. Stop hitting your kid. Would you like it if I hit you? You know,
Yeah.
That's what I want to say. I'm like, you really want to touch that fuzzy blanket over there. So I'd keep hitting you every time instead of just moving the blanket.
Yeah. Yeah.
As if that parent has any impulse control. That kid don't have any impulse control.
No.
And they have the excuse of still being a baby. What's your excuse?
It's so sad. A lot of children suffer.
Yes, they do.
Their parents abuse because they don't understand.
And the parents don't even realize they're abusing. That's what's wild.
No, they don't.
They think, oh, I'm just being a good parent. That's how we do it in the South.
I'm trying to correct them here and make them be a good kid, you know.
Yeah, but they have no understanding that your child is not cognitively aware enough to know why the person who is supposed to make them feel safe is hitting them.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not anti-spank. I'm not anti-consequence. I'm not. But in its rightful place and with the right boundaries.
Right.
Not just randomly whacking your kid.
That's right.
Onyx gets the pops on the diaper occasionally. He gets a pop on the leg. But after we've explained what's going, we're not just randomly hitting him. He's not scared to come hug us. He's not scared.
Yeah.
Anytime I reach over to touch him, he's not trying to block it like I'm going to hit him.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart when I see that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our first reaction.
It's wild.
Oh, my life is so complex.
I know. And you want to say, well, that's just how they were raised. Well, that's just how they were parented. So what? Change it. Take responsibility for your own behavior. You're well into your 20s, 30s, whatever. Take responsibility and change your behavior.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to stay a product of your raisins. Anyways.
Well, Sharon must have went to Kalamazoo.
Maybe. She's probably just driving around enjoying the day. Well, that was fun. I'm glad you stuck around for the whole thing. And thank you for talking to me today. Y'all go like and follow and review and do all the podcast things that people do. And don't forget to be a good human.